in Greater Los Angeles on Sunday, November 10th from noon until at 11129 South Central Avenue in Los Angeles. If you would like to donate or volunteer, please call 310-981-6377 or email them at feedingourfriends05@gmail.com. feedingourfriends05@gmail.com. It's the 15th anniversary of Feeding Our Friends on the Outside, Sunday, November 10th from noon until 11129 South Central Avenue in Los Angeles. For more information, call 310-981-6377. 310-981-6377. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Sharing your feelings doesn't mean falling apart emotionally and like ugly crying, which I think can be helpful at times. It's not actually ugly. I think it's beautiful, but I'm a psychiatrist. This is a big mistake that a lot of dudes make. When they share their feelings, we are so emotionally incapable that we have two modes. We have zero emotion or we have emotional explosion. Once we open that pressure valve, that's when everything blows up. So oftentimes what men will do is they won't share their feelings in an emotionally regulated way. The only modes that we have are on and off. And when someone is emotionally dysregulated, we can have compassion for them, we can have kindness for them, we can even love them, but what we oftentimes lose is respect for them. And so what a lot of dudes are running into is that they'll share their feelings, and the way that they share their feelings, unfortunately, leads to a loss of respect.
Come on. Andy, did you hear that? She doesn't lose respect because we don't have emotions. She loses respect for us because we don't have a grip on our emotions. That's very intriguing. I wonder if the men who listen to this show will call in with a counter argument, because tonight's topic, why she doesn't respect you. It's not your emotions, it's your dysregulation. A deeper look into what happens when the emotional pressure valve breaks. Now, I'm one of those guys. You know, I'm just learning to feel, to just feel it, right? Feel the feelings. I'm just, maybe the last 15 years, but for the most part, it's been, you suppress it. You push it to the side. You keep pushing. Oh my God, this is interesting. Do you think men are being raised to not feel their emotions? I think men from my generation, most certainly. But do you think that is true for this generation? The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. With the advent of mental health awareness, a lot more conversations are being had about emotional stability, emotional intelligence, and vulnerability. A growing consensus in certain groups exists that men have trouble expressing emotions and being vulnerable more often than women. I don't know if it should be more often than women. Maybe it should be as much. No, maybe that's too much. I don't know where the line is. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. One popular opinion says that the lack of vulnerability in men is due to men risking emasculation and losing the respect or admiration of their partner in an intimate relationship. However, could the issue have more to do with men's experience of emotional dysregulation rather than the mere expression of those emotions? Now, Shaquille O'Neal was on a podcast recently, maybe a couple of months ago, and he said, never reveal your feelings, because that woman that you reveal those feelings to, she's going to store it in her get back bank account. She's going to store it in her rub it in his face bank account. She's going to store it in her I got you bank account. Oh, I got you. You see, you done messed up now. I got you, boy. And a lot of men feel this way. Do you think it's real? I don't know. 1-800-920-1580. So the question becomes, what exactly is emotional regulation? Well, according to WebMD, what is emotional dysregulation? According to WebMD, emotional dysregulation is a term used to describe an emotional response that is poorly regulated and does not fall within the traditionally accepted range of emotional reaction. In other words, an overreaction. It may also be referred to as marked fluctuation of mood swings. Let me just stop. Men, would you be honest? Could you be honest? Won't you be honest? Now, I'm just asking, do you have mood swings, brothers? A lot of men won't admit to having mood swings. Now, let me just say, one of my biggest gripes with women and their expression of the mood swing, like, I've never gotten a headache if I didn't eat. Women will get a headache and will be somewhere else. Like they will really go into another universe. The mood will switch. It will switch up, right? And I've never been the type of person, like, if they got my order wrong. I mean, somebody got my order wrong maybe a week ago. I got home, I was ready for those tamales. It was rancheros. Do you think I got in the car and went back? No. I seasoned them rancheros and I ate them. I'm just, the mood swing. I want to know, men, do you have mood swings? I think men do. I think the expression is different, though. The expression is different. And I'd like to hear from men and women on how they've learned to regulate their emotions, right? This is very important. What are some ways that these constant fluctuations in instability cultivate an environment of dishonor and disrespect from both parties, a relationship where no one is able to regulate their emotions. Like, that's heavy, right? How might remnants of disdain reveal themselves in these kinds of dynamics? How might adopting the notion of this is who I am? Now, that's one of the, boy, I hate hearing that. Oh, this is who I am. You're going to have to deal with it. What? And men and women are guilty of this. This is who I am, right? How might adopting the notion of this is who I am becomes a defense mechanism for poor emotional regulation while simultaneously scapegoating the partner into the role of villain? Ooh. Why are we more loyal to our conditioning rather than to sustaining a peaceful mindset? This is, oh boy. Andy, have you experienced any of this in a relationship where your girl couldn't really control her emotions, or you for that matter? Andy is like, yeah, I'm not getting on the mic for this one. He's like, yeah, behind the glass. He's like, yes, sir. No, listen, I believe learning how to control your emotions, I believe it's a part of spiritual maturation. Right? You start to recognize, like, I'm the problem here. I'm overreacting. This is very interesting. What role does fear and ego play in acknowledging that you are struggling to emotionally regulate? Is there a link between codependency and emotional dysregulation? Wow. Imagine the effect on your expectations of others if you can't regulate your emotions. You're going to expect your partner. I heard a clinician say it this way. First off, the clinician was so cold, I forgot their name. They said co-regulation is for children. Self-regulation is for adults. That blew my mind when I heard that. I said, whoa, what? Hey, wait a minute. They said, look, your child may not be able to regulate their emotions. And so you co-regulate with them. It's okay. It's just a scratch. You'll be all right. Come on. Okay. Let me kiss it. Let me blow on it. You're co-regulating right there. So the child is taking your cue. The child is chilling. Got it. And let me just say this. I'm not going to say that co-regulation in adult relationships is necessarily bad, but that shouldn't be like the go-to. Because I believe where there's co-regulation, there's a propensity or a potentiality for codependence. And I think, these are the self battles that I've been talking about, where people have to win some of those self battles where, yes, you had a tough day, and yes, you feel bad about it, but the ability to be able to regulate yourself when you are emotionally dysregulated is very powerful. It's a very powerful skill. And I think we should all be able to develop that. Now, of course, I'm always going to lean on the side of we're works in progress. Now, for people who listen to this show, please don't define being a work in progress as an excuse to stay a work in progress, right? You're supposed to recognize that you're never going to get it perfect, but you should continue working on yourself. You should continue learning about yourself. You should continue expanding your psychological reality, because guess what? Many people will go, oh, I'm a work in progress. Fine. I'm never going to get perfect. I'm never going to get great. I'm never going to get to the space I want to be in. So why try? And then they come back to that this is who I am bit. No, we're not doing that. Do people remain in certain relationships because their partners are more likely to tolerate their emotional dysregulation? Absolutely. If you came from an emotionally dysregulated house, listen, can I explain something to y'all? Where you came from, that is the mold. Do you understand? That is the mold. You came from a particular mold. That mold shaped your sense of self. So if your crib, if your early childhood, if your home environment was emotionally dysregulated, that's going to feel like home. Toxicity in your adult relationships are going to feel like home. But here's the point. At some point, you got to leave home, even after you've left home. What does that mean, so? You take home with you wherever you go. What is the most important breakup you'll ever have? The one with your norm, the one that you created in your formative years. Many of the things you created in your formative years, let's just be honest, are pretty much a coping mechanism to deal with home. And then you took that out into the world to deal with others. Oh, it's going to be great tonight. I want to know, men, are women less attracted to you because of your lack of emotional regulation? Has a woman just said, you're too much, you're too crazy, oh my God. You just, oh Lord. Has a woman left you because you couldn't control your emotions? I'm very interested to know. Would you be honest? Los Angeles, I know you're listening. Would you be honest? Watch when I go to this sweet spot in Inglewood on Sunday, the 17th, to see Angelique. Watch, it's going to be, man, your show, boy. Yeah, I'm going to be like, how come you don't call in, L.A.? I'm going to say that on stage. L.A., how come y'all not calling in? Don't be afraid. Don't let your emotions get dysregulated while listening to this show. Shout out to JW from South Central. But I think it's a very important question. Listen, when we come forward, you already know what it is. We go into the phone lines. We want to talk about it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Are you an entrepreneur looking to take your business to new heights? KBLA Talk 1580 is your partner in success. Every day, we celebrate and elevate Black-owned businesses across our community. Our KBLA SMB Marketplace currently features The Cookie Dip, Badass Bakes, Hair Concoction, Higher Education Accreditation Consulting, LACC Radiology Technology Department, and Malik Books. Your business deserves to be heard. Let KBLA Talk 1580 amplify your voice and connect you with our powerful community of listeners. Email smb@kbla1580.com today. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your flag.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying Black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Have you ever had an unpredictable outburst or reacted to something in a really bad way? Then you may have experienced emotional dysregulation. Simply put, it means you can't control your emotions. This may be due to trauma or ADHD, or maybe as a child not being taught how to handle your emotions. Everyone remembers Will Smith's drama at the Oscars, right? Where he stormed up on stage and punched host Chris Rock right in the face. Shocking the world. That's a perfect example of emotional dysregulation. When Chris Rock made a joke about Will's wife, she has a hair loss condition called alopecia, Will initially laughed. Then he noticed his wife was not amused and a switch was flipped. That's when Will's emotions became dysregulated and he rushed on stage, assaulting Rock. This could possibly be the order of steps in emotional dysregulation and how it can manifest. Find 1 minute, outburst the next. An obvious strategy to treat emotional dysregulation is therapy, like cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. But in this video, we'll look at 3 other unique strategies, so keep watching. According to WebMD, emotional dysregulation can be defined as mood fluctuations or mood swings. This means that your emotions aren't within the normal or acceptable way to react to things. For example, unreasonable expression of emotional outbursts like anger, where something minor triggers into something more, becoming impulsive. Having mental health issues like depression and anxiety, or even abusing substances and other self-harming behaviors. If not treated properly, emotional dysregulation can have an impact on your social life, work life, school life, and relationships. Remember Will? His actions definitely harmed his career. Continuing with Will Smith and his unpredictable reaction, no one was expecting that behavior, right? That was someone who couldn't control his behavior in the moment. Since we aren't all celebrities at award shows, a more relatable example of an emotional outburst is flouncing. What's flouncing? Flouncing is an interesting type of unusual outburst and a way emotional dysregulation can manifest. People should learn to control their emotions as they grow from teenagers to adults, but since a lot of our interactions these days take place online, this might not be happening anymore. We're seeing more people having confrontations and dramatic outbursts on social media in forums, groups, or communities, and announcing that they're leaving these online spaces in an exaggerated way for attention. According to Urban Dictionary, flouncing is leaving an internet group or thread with exaggerated drama and acting in ways to draw.
Man, listen, they come up with a new word every week. But I'm interested. We have callers on the line, and I'm very interested. Have you ever dealt with someone who could not regulate their emotions? Hell, I was attacked. before. It has happened, man, and I've attacked people. Listen, we're all flawed. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've always been in control of my emotions. I haven't. But it's something that is necessary for a healthy relationship. Learning how to woo-sa, control your emotions. Now, she gave a couple of origin points for where emotional dysregulation comes from, and in a nutshell, your early childhood experiences, right? She said ADHD, she said trauma, but I'm really interested to see how you observed yourself when you were in the moment of emotional dysregulation. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Let's go to the person who's been on the longest, John, Mountain View. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend?
Big Bruzzo, sorry for the delay.
That's all right, brother.
Dealing with the whole time. But are you talking about the same people that are crashing out over votes?
So you said that's emotional dysregulation. Ooh.
On display, and you put the phone in front of you. Quit tripping.
Ooh, Lord. But wait.
You put the phone in front of you and started screaming at it. For what reason?
Ooh-wee. Pastor John, you gonna come in here and reprimand us all.
But wait. No. Wait. No. Because again, men, if the point of you having to pay for a date $200 in advance over something you know you've been manipulated on, which is her prettiness, does that make sense to you too?
Wait. Hold tight. Nah. You're not finna do this tonight. This is gonna be great. Hold tight. Pastor John from Mountain View, Hawaii is already setting fires.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know from BIN News. Attorney Tony Busby, representing over 120 alleged victims against Sean Diddy Combs, is now targeting other high-profile attendees of Diddy's parties who may have ignored abuse. He's issued demand letters warning them to settle or face public lawsuits. Florida is taking legal action against a black FEMA worker accused of ignoring hurricane victims who displayed signs supporting President-elect Donald Trump. Attorney General Ashley Moody says a lawsuit has been filed against former FEMA supervisor Marnie Washington and the agency's current administrator, Deanne Criswell. Drug overdose deaths are falling in the U.S. and are on track to hit their lowest level since 2020. That's according to new CDC data. And the annual list of best hospitals for Black America is out. Capitol Health Medical Center in New Jersey, Cleveland Clinic in Ohio, and Harlem Hospital in New York are among the dozens that made the list, which is comprised by blackdoctor.com. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
September 15th to 21st is Asthma Peak Week with the highest concentration of asthma flare-ups and hospitalizations. To become a more active participant in your care, visit luma-edu.com. This message is brought to you by Amgen and AstraZeneca.
Feeding Our Friends on the Outside will be hosting its 15th annual Feeding the Homeless event in Greater Los Angeles on Sunday, November 10th from noon until at 11129 South Central Avenue in Los Angeles. If you would like to donate or volunteer, please call 310-981-6377 or email them at feedingourfriends05@gmail.com. feedingourfriends05@gmail.com. It's the 15th anniversary of Feeding Our Friends on the Outside, Sunday, November 10th from noon until 11129 South Central Avenue in Los Angeles. For more information, call 310-981-6377. 310-981-6377. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Workers in California cut and polish man-made stone for countertops, showers, and more. Without proper protections, workers breathe in harmful dust from the artificial stone material, which puts them at risk of developing silicosis. California employers are required to protect their employees from harmful silica dust by providing proper equipment and training. Stop dusty and deadly practices. Learn more at worksafewithsilica.org. This is a message from Cal OSHA.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, visit taxclosure.org to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Joe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
So let's move on to healing. There's some very important healing phases. And we've talked about this in other talks in a lot of detail. But let me just quickly go through some of the phases. So the first phase and the first tool is I need tools to help regulate my brainstem and limbic brain when they're dysregulated. In that crisis moment when they're triggered. And so we call that grounding. And so that's where people can use rhythm. They can do breathing, rhythmic breathing. They can walk. They can listen to music. They can tap on pressure points, which is called EFT. Some people count. Some people draw, color, rhythm. They can find rhythms that help regulate them. So what I want you to understand is the starting point for dealing with emotional regulation is not tools for the cortex, because it's not yet engaged. It's tools to ground, to de-escalate the limbic system. And rhythm is a big part of that. Then, once regulated, you can go to the cortex. And as you go to the cortex, then you can tell time again, and you go, you know what just happened felt like 40 years ago, but I'm not there 40 years ago, even though it feels like it's still happening to me. And so then you can go, okay, what happened here? And you can reprocess the event and reprocess the trauma and learn from it. And
that's a very heavy thing that he's breaking down. He's talking about the old brain versus the new brain, right? He said the cortex isn't even connected. And he was talking about the limbic system. Now, the limbic system is the old brain. And I've always used this example. I said the old brain is super athletic, meaning it's super responsive, primitive, survival brain. That's, they used to call it the old reptilian brain. And when you're dealing with that part of the brain, you're going to be hyper vigilant. You're going to be, you understand what I'm saying? This is, and unfortunately, a lot of people who suffer from PTSD, are in this hypervigilant space. People who are fearful avoidant can be in this space, because you remember, people who have been classified as fearful avoidants have experienced some level of abuse in their early childhood. So there's this hypervigilance that comes with them. They're looking for, is this going to be dangerous? Is this not going to be good for me? Because remember, terrified of the primary caregiver. Should I go where I think the source of love is or no? So it's very interesting the way he's breaking this brain thing down. The new brain, of course, is what I like to say, it's very unathletic, right? This is where thinking is, the prefrontal cortex, right? That's the new brain. That's reason. Everything slows down a bit. He said that's why you can begin to tell time again. Like, wow, when did that happen? That was, whoa. I know it feels like 2 weeks ago, but I've been able to reconnect to my cortex, my prefrontal cortex, right? And really kind of process what went down. So it's very heavy when you start to understand the brain science that's involved in all of this. We've got callers on the line. I want to get back to my good friend John from Mountain View, because he's already in here cooking. So, John, go ahead. You done mentioned Kamala and the response. Come on, John. But you do know what the topic is. Let me just say the topic one more time, just to make sure my brother and your brother, we on point. Why she doesn't respect you. It's not your emotions, brother. It's your dysregulation. A deeper look into what happens when emotional pressure breaks valves. Let's go.
Understood all. But back to the presentation, I do box breathing.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
But at the same time, yes, women who test men on the fact of their feeling of emotions, which again, we're not allowed to feel them, and yet at the same time supposed to respond in the way that you
would. Have some compassion. What? Go ahead. I hear what you're saying. Keep going.
Not saying that, you know, they have a right to feel that way. Remember, they're feeling everything that they do. When they speak to us, they're looking for something to feel in it.
Ooh. Is that a bad thing, though?
It's not a bad thing. It's just something we're not regulated to take care of as men. Remember, we was taught at childhood age, don't cry.
But that was abuse, John.
Yeah, it may be abuse, but it's still something just like everything else. Our reptilian mind goes quickly too.
Right. That's 100% true. But at what point do we say, because I think that's why men die earlier. That's why men, you know, especially black men, I think that's why we struggle. A great deal of us struggle in relationships is because we can't connect. Even in our relationships with our children, sometimes we can't connect. We can provide, right, tangibles, but when it's time to provide an intangible, like, you know, our feelings, our care, our concern, our empathy, sometimes we go back to that reptilian brain and those quick responses that say, hey, man, you got to get over it. Life. I remember one time, let me tell you something. You remember Uncle Bobby?
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Bobby said something that was so cold to me one day. He was like, I said, Bobby, how you doing? He said, it don't matter. I got to keep going. It don't matter how I'm doing. I just got to keep going. I said, wow, that was heavy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Of course.
And to me, I think
the
that's
day when he said it.
Yeah, sometimes I think that's problematic. What are your thoughts?
Well, problematic as it may be, and again, for all of us learning this process of how we're supposed to deal with everything that we're handed, we are supposed to learn that in the processes and the ways that we doggone grow, learn, respect, feel, since apparently most of us have a problem with that. You said earlier about people in L.A., you know, if you say some goofy stuff to us, we got to get our get back, right?
LA like that now. Maybe
And
LA's emotional. Maybe LA don't know how to regulate its emotions because the get back is for real.
And I understand that. I understand that on so many different levels. But let me take it back to that very same statement, because I think I reiterated the simple fact that the most gangster thing you can do is walk away.
Yes.
That's a regulated new mindset on how you're supposed to take care of responsibility. I'm gonna say this quick story and I'm gonna get off.
Go ahead.
I'm standing at the pump. Somebody's got a doggone dually truck that they got parked in between three pumps. I am parked behind the individual, filling my tank, and I'm stretching the line so I can get my job done. But this guy is parked in between three vehicles and now is in a hurry to get out because he got his gas first. He throws his vehicle in reverse. I got a millisecond to think. Do I watch this dude back up over my vehicle and I get my get back?
Do you want me
or
to
do I recognize that this guy is in a hurry and he also did not put his cap back on his tank?
Do you want me to put myself in your shoes? Because is this rhetorical? Because,
well, sir, I'm not bringing it up because I want you to feel bad about it. I'm bringing it up because it's still a learning process for me too.
Right. So what happened? Did he hit your car or did you back up? Did you respond in time to back up?
I went to his gas tank and put the cap back on and looked in his direction and waited.
Oh, you gave
him... Because either A, it's going to pop off, or B, you're going to finally say, my bad.
Okay. I see what you did. You gave him, I'm with the smoke gesture. Let me get out the car.
I'm coming closer to get my fire. I don't know about you, but again, I can't get it at my car because I'm at the tank.
Ah, I see.
But if I walk closer and I at least see the problems along the way, maybe it'll help regulate me too.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Now, do me this solid before I let you go.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been in an intimate relationship with a woman and been unable to regulate your emotions?
One more story.
Here we go.
My divorce was matched on this. She's telling me she's finally divorcing me after 4 months of doggone not talking to me, not touching me, not being with me, and looking at me like a whole stranger.
Here we go.
Now letting me know that I'm finally divorcing, and I'm at peace with it, but now you're testing even that because you want something more out of it. To the point that I had my hands around her throat, and I wake up. That means the rage that I had, I was caught in.
Got it.
Guess what happened after that?
What happened after, bro?
After I finally got my hands from around her neck, made sure she was clothed and could walk away in peace, called the cops on her and called the cops on myself.
I hear it. Now,
been there, done that, got the T-shirt.
But what did you learn? Stay
what
with
did
me.
I learn?
Wait, stay with me. Wait. Stay with me, John. Stay with me.
Regulating myself.
Don't leave, John, don't leave. Stay with me, brother, because we have to talk. This is a testimony for people who are listening right now. When we come forward, I'm going back to Mountain View, Hawaii. John just got real.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. The Equinox EV and all-new Equinox, America's best compact SUV for new vehicle quality by J.D. Power, offer both confidence and style to see you through the holiday season. It's easy to see why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. Find your red tag. Get 0% APR financing for 36 months on select popular Chevy models when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Award based on 2024 models for J.D. Power 2024 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information. Visit jdpower.com/awards. Offer available on all 2025 Equinox and 2024 Silverado, Equinox EV, Blazer EV, and Silverado EV models. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment is 22.2%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 12/2/24.
Medicare open enrollment is here, and it's a time you can make changes to your health coverage. Yet, watch out for enrollment and marketing scams. Remember, Medicare will neither call you nor solicit your business. Guard your card. Never give out your Medicare number to strangers. Unsolicited calls, door-to-door visits, and emails are prohibited. Take your time. Don't feel pressured to make a quick decision. Report scams to our California Senior Medicare Patrol at 1-855-613-7080.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services resources for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Some people will encourage you to feel your feelings and explore your feelings and trust your feelings, but when you have PTSD from childhood and you get emotionally dysregulated, this is the dirty secret. Feeling your feelings is like not always a good thing. You're not supposed to say that, right? But sometimes your feelings are more like a horrible house guest who makes a big mess and refuses to leave. Or it's like they're like a tornado. They're just like spinning around, wrecking everything. You don't want that. With complex PTSD, what is often a symptom is emotional dysregulation. Feelings are out of control. They're coming out in bursts, they're out of proportion to what's going on, or they're coming at an inappropriate time, like crying at work or having an angry outburst at a customer service representative on the phone. Have you ever done that? It also refers to going flat emotionally, and this happens sometimes too. A big spike in feeling and then nothing. But either way, when your feelings are dysregulated, you end up saying things and doing things that just overwhelm you further, that actually create new trauma that makes your situation even harder. It can be a vicious circle. One example could be having an argument with your partner, okay? Let's say something makes you angry and they forgot that you had plans to have dinner or something. And you go to meet them, you're at the restaurant, and they never show up. They don't answer their phone. And you feel stupid and humiliated just sitting there, and the feelings start to sort of well up, and this abandonment feeling starts going, and eventually you go home where you find that they're sitting right there watching TV, and you say, "Where were you?" And they go, "Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. Can we go out now?" But for you, it's way too late, right? Because old feelings of being ignored and abandoned are just coming up like a gusher out of the past and filling your chest and your head and getting stood up. Yeah, it's not cool, but your reaction.
Heavy stuff. Heavy stuff. Men! Who taught you how to regulate your emotions? And if no one taught you how, what are the triggers that set you off? My good friend John from Mountain View, Hawaii is on, and he is in a very transparent, open, and clear moment. Let's move up a little up in time here. After that event happened, my question is, did you go to therapy? Were you able to kind of address this emotional dysregulation that led to the event with your ex-wife?
Yes and no. Started the journey, still have yet to find somebody that has earned the right to listen to this story. You can't just sit in a class or sit in a room with a kid who's trying to pay back his debt. So I'm trying to find the right person to actually sit down and have this conversation with. But nonetheless, still doing the work and the practicing and feeling and trying to understand who I am.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you,
you're talking about somebody who was put as a warrior to go out and fight wars, and now got to shut that off because I'm the worst thing since sliced bread.
You're not the worst thing since sliced bread. So what I'm not going to allow you to do is beat up on yourself. You're a human being, bro. Do not.
I understand all of it.
We're not doing.
I'm saying it facetiously.
Oh, good, because we're not going to allow that, John. Okay.
Understood.
What you do is not who you are. You're more than that. So, I can name 3 people you could do the therapy with, and you know their names: Dr. Shalonda Sunshine Crawford, Dr. Shalonda Sunshine Crawford. That's a lot. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, that's a tongue twister right
there. You could definitely do it with her. You definitely could do it with Dr. Jashana Johnson. And then you could do it with, of course, come on, man, Dr. Pakoya. You know.
Check fire, check fire, check fire, check fire, check fire, check fire, check fire.
I'm listening.
I said on the show, I need recommendations from her. Where's her phone number?
Who? Pakoya?
Yes.
Pakoya McCall.
Yes.
Yeah. I think her website is
book and everything.
Incite Me. I think she's on Instagram. She's following me. Incite Me. Yeah. Yes, sir. Like, and here's the thing, man. It's about processing the feeling. Right?
Yes, sir.
And I already know, just as a man, your stuff is suppressed. Then as a warrior, a soldier, your stuff is even more suppressed, right?
Let's just say they allow us to turn that switch on and off at our convenience.
So guess what that makes you?
Human.
Mount Pinatubo. Hold tight. Don't go nowhere, John. When we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep this fire lit.